As in everything, there are winners and losers. Not everything is supposed to be built in black and white. Dark Souls 2, for example, tends to be looked at as the black sheep, the redheaded stepchild, the outcast of the series. And whether you agree or disagree, there are some merits to that. There's a lot of people who, for one reason or another, dislike the game or really enjoy the game. Both have their merits, their pros and cons, their positives and negatives. To get a fresh opinion, I recently played through Scholar of the First Sins for the first time. The very first time. This is how it went.
Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. The symbol of the curse. A place where souls come. Long ago, everything built a great something. Like a moth drawn to a flame, you won't even come. For that is your fate. For your past. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be?
Hold on to your tummy. Feast upon their tummy. Finished on your face. Over and over again.
After replaying the first entry and not necessarily really knowing what to expect when I play this again myself, I was a bit nervous because I've heard mixed messages, to say the least, about this game. Immediately, I was met with an issue. Oh god. Oh lord. This is going to cause motion sickness. What the fuck? Oh no. Am I gonna have to use this with a controller? Now, I'm not used to playing with a controller. The last time I did was incidentally Dark Souls 2 about 8 years ago? I'll try not to let it cloud the rest of my feelings. Now, I'm not sure if this is just a poor port of it, if it's working as intended, if it's a feature, not a bug. But even after adjusting some settings, including my DPI, as well as the sensitivity, it just felt like I was getting motion sickness every time I swung the camera around. I can't even walk on a damn bridge. What the fuck is wrong with me? What is the matter in this game? What is the matter with my ability to just hold forward? Something is definitely wrong with my dexterity. I need to level dexterity IRL. That's my problem. Keeping with the camera problems, many times I struggled to keep the camera in line with my orientation, especially in these tight corridors that the game seems to have all over the place. Compounding that, can someone explain why the direction of the controls you're going in controls the direction of the attack? Usually it's not that big of an issue, but I swear to fucking god. That was not where I was rolling. When I was locked on, the camera rotated and then rolled me off the ledge. It just kept my momentum in the direction I was locked on. That's so fucked. This is gonna be a rant. Why the fuck does moving my stick go in the direction of where I'm moving it and not just staying locked onto the targeted enemy? Why does it do that? Why the fuck does it do that? Every other game, it attacks the person who you are locked onto regardless of your directional orientation, and I don't understand why this game is so much different. I understand it's like I have to cut it some slack, but that is not the type of slack it needs to be cut. Why? Hitboxes. And I guess while we're on the topic of controls, after the bit of chaos in the first game, I definitely would have thought that FromSoft would have learned that players don't necessarily enjoy the gameplay loop of running to a boss, dying, running back to the bonfire through leagues and leagues of hordes of enemies, dying, and repeating ad nauseum. I guess their solution to that is get good, scrub? Who could have guessed? Now, most of your standard RPG or Souls-style elements return in this game, as outlined in my previous video on Dark Souls 1. Now, you've got your classic RPG-style elements and Souls-style gameplay of So everything should be business as usual, right? Wait, what is this? Adaptability? I don't know level that. Dark Spirit Sanctum Twink. You mother... Yeah, I should turn invasions off. What do you mean it's always on? Is that really that bad? What a disaster. Ferryman.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Okay. Wait, is he role-playing steering the boat? Oh no. Everything's a taunt. I can't just leave. Oh. Oh. You just wanted to... That's so fucked up. What a dude. What a guy. Hello? Yeah. Wait. What? One of the best stats in the game? Hitting breakpoints directly controls just how much iframes you get? New dog. What are you talking about? Oh. Hey man, what's going on? Oh, well, I dreamt of Dark Souls and
What?
PvP. There's no upside to PvP.
Dark
There's
Souls?
no way to turn off invasions. There's
Uncontrollable invasions?
and then there's adaptability, and then the stat controls how I dodge
controlling
and how many iframes I get. And
What are you talking
then
about?
they just made 2 games and cobbled them together, and that's why the game feels like...
Whoa. Just calm down for a second. Nothing like that ever happened. Come on, let's go play Halo Reach.
For better or worse, iframes have been a part of games for a very long time, especially RPGs. In the Souls series in particular, there are nearly always a standard amount of iframes. In this game, they felt they needed to change that. Adaptability was introduced as a way to increase resistances by itself, but it also has the side effect of increasing agility, which is a number that directly controls how many iframes you get when dodging. Because, of course, they thought that tying everything to stats was a good thing. Now, that's not to say that you absolutely need to level adaptability in this game. You don't have to level it, you can just bear with the incredibly tight 8-frame iframe window, if you're a masochist or whatever. Alright. I'm not crazy, right? There was a bonfire up there that led straight down to the mirror fight. I thought the bonfire was in here. Is it really? What a fucking shit show.
Oh, no.
And speaking of fucking shit shows, the majority of the time, the bosses aren't really too difficult, at least in the early game. Though, depending on what weapon you use, some might give more trouble than others. Though I guess that's the case with every Dark Souls game. There's one that's worth mentioning that is sort of an ongoing type rivalry type thing. Super so sick. Again? I didn't know you came here again. I literally had no idea. I knew about the second Pursuer fight, but I didn't know about this one. Nice. Alright. Hello, buddy. Oh. Why am I not able to dodge that? Bunk. Okay, good. Good, yeah. And when I say the bosses aren't too difficult, I'm not even sure that some of them were intended on being bosses. Just enemies they slapped health bars on. How hard could Horse be?
Bruh.
And of course, end of fucking Horse.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
How hard could Horse be? I don't understand how. Okay, easier than I thought, but still a shit boss encounter. Oh. Oops. Okay. Congregation. And he drops a slab too? Are you fucking kidding me? There's no reason for that. There is no reason for that fight. I'll be fine. It's just skeleton lords. How hard could they be? Oh no. Oh no. I forgot. Oh no. I forgot about the mechanic. When you kill a skeleton lord, it summons a set amount of mobs. So now, by killing all of them in rapid succession, I now have to deal with all of the little skeletons all at once. That's not going to be a fun time for me. Okay, I think I'm fine. No, I am not fine, because pinwheels exist. I'm fine. Coming back to this game after playing the later entries in the series, Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, etc., enemies sometimes feel like they're going in slow motion, but other times the enemies don't give you an inch. Ooh, you can't get hit in this game. You just cannot fucking get hit in this game. You get hit once and you're just fucked. You're stun locked, you're bled, you're poisoned, you get knocked back, you're just fucked. I don't mean to be so negative all the time. When the engine doesn't give you the proper tools you need to succeed, and through trial and error is the only way forward, it's not a good system. Now, I'm not saying you should be able to one-shot everything you encounter. When you encounter new things for the first time, you should be able to have at least some semblance of how to tackle it before you encounter it. And when you're stuck in animations that take 10 fucking years to complete, and a twin blade enemy can just go, and you're dead, what the fuck is that? I don't necessarily hate this place because of the layout or anything. It's just because the enemies here are just all over the place. And they're fucking obnoxious. Speaking of basic enemies, there's a lot of them in this game. Scholar even added more. They must really enjoy runbacks, and the intended path must have been to kill every single enemy every time you die. I guess sort of makes sense because they disappear after killing them, what, 10, 12 times? The only exception to this is if you enter the Covenant of Champions, which makes the enemies 1, harder, and 2, removes the respawn limit for them, maybe for an extra ease of farming for a specific item if you so choose. Or maybe they just wanted to give players an extra challenge for those who wanted it. The mob density in this game is the fucking worst. It's just like Ninja Gaiden. They thought the game wasn't hard enough, so they just added more mobs everywhere. Because yeah, that's the goddamn answer, right? Scholar has the added bonus of adding in extra zone-based PvP battles. But FromSoft had the bright idea to make PvP, or Red Spirits, nearly mandatory. While not all of them are hard, a lot of them can detract from the PvE style nature of the game, even though they are all script-based in the end. The checkpoint's up there? No. Bro. Fucking damn it, these animations. These animations take so fucking long to complete. I get that it's supposed to be like a sense of immersion, but goddamn, speed it up like 10%. Like, why did they think PvP battles was an integral part of the Dark Souls play experience? Why do they think that? I mean, I guess to some people it is, but many, it's just like the PvE experience, the restricted AI difficulty. I mean, I could probably just backstab this guy, right? Yep. That works. Spencer Sharon. Why? I fucking hate PvP. I hate PvP. Thank you. Forlorn, what are you doing here again?
You stupid.
I don't want to talk about it. Oh, dying to Forlorn.
Do a flip!
Huh?
Baited. Big sword go bunk.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Bye. Rowena? Are you okay? When Dark Souls 2 first came out, it might have felt that something was off, almost like there were two games at odds with each other. While Miyazaki again reprised his role as game director, he also didn't really want to be as involved in the making of it as much, becoming sort of a spectator. Starting off, Dark Souls 2 was actually intended to be an open world game from the start, which would explain why the world is so damn massive. But due to time constraints, engine problems, and other creative falterings, the end result is the cobbled together experience as the Dark Souls 2 as we know it. When designing levels, oftentimes the enemies in the levels are an afterthought. But other times the bosses can actually dictate the level itself, as they sort of, how do we make the boss fit? Or working backwards, made the level first and then designed the boss to fit the area. Now, I have no idea whether it's a chicken or an egg type situation with Mytha, but I do really like the idea of a boss that heals if she's in her own element. Sort of like a home field advantage type thing. Off the heels of the first Dark Souls, the second entry in the series had a lot to live up to, as far as the world goes. I'm not exactly sure it did, for one reason or another, and I'm not entirely sure if I can neither criticize nor praise it. Sure, the environments are stunning and visually detailed, but a lot of the game was likely drastically altered, cut completely, or potentially even unfinished. Take the Gutter, for example. A little bit of the original design is still embedded in the current iteration, but there's a very significant chunk that was altered, because initially, the Black Gulch wasn't even supposed to be in the game. The other was supposed to be much more detailed, compact, and eventually lead to the rot itself. Obviously, that didn't happen for one reason or another, but we can only speculate on what happened that caused such a drastic shift, and I do find it fascinating that how the end result is so different than what was initially envisioned. Because of how this world is laid out, I had an interesting thought. How do game designers tell a story through level design? In this game especially, it's not necessarily about changing the status quo or altering destiny. It's about finding your place in the world. As you go about Drangleic, you encounter NPCs who are on their own journey, whether it be collaboration, simple merchants, or stragglers who just want to get away from their own country, to forge their own path in this broken world. In the intro cutscene, we are told that Drangleic is the key to saving yourself, to break the chain that causes you to remain cursed, thus beginning your own journey, one of self-sacrifice. Okay. Lion King? All along, you would have thought there is nothing. There is nothing going on. But alas. Hello, Aldia.
No one has come this far. Not for a very long while. Young Harlow, do you wish to share this curse?
That's funny. I didn't know his voice. So, again, I ask, how good is Dark Souls 2? Or, more specifically, Scholar? It's definitely one of the Souls games of all time, that's for sure. It's got its own quirks and charms to it, but honestly, overall, it was pretty frustrating than enjoyable for me. From the constant statuses in the middle portion of the game, to the enemies they don't let up, to the, quite frankly, absurd amount of time that it takes to use an item, there's a lot to dislike about the game. Dark Souls 2 took some risks, and while not everything worked out, like tying literally everything to stats, it has good bones, but it's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Maybe it's just because I'm more used to the modern titles as opposed to appreciating what it is, but that begs the question. What is Dark Souls 2? Some might say it's a mess, some a masterpiece. But in the end, I think it's a game that just wants to be understood. If we don't take the time for introspection, we don't grow. If we're challenged, will we rise to the occasion or falter along the path? What does it mean to be a cursed undead? And why are we even here? Are we cursed enough not to die, to forever wander aimlessly among the living? Or will we remember what it means to be alive, to continue our journey, one step at a time? Dark Souls 2 is about the journey, not the destination. Sure, you might have to find your path along the way, and that might eventually make you king, but do you even want that? Is that your personal choice? I know for many it isn't. Some just want answers. And for most, we're reduced to wandering aimlessly as we seek collaboration, safety, a home, a place for belonging in this shattered world. Where is your actual head? Is this it? Little rock like, I guess it's more like a clit, right?